Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to a random lifestyle vlog. So, a surprise, we have another advent calendar to unbox today, and this is the 12 Days of Fragrance by Liberty London. So this advent calendar was quite pricey compared to the Harrods advent calendar, but to be honest, I don't think that the Harrods advent calendar will keep that price for the next year. I think if they're going to do one more release of this advent calendar next year, it's going to be more expensive. It was just too good to be true. This advent calendar was a little bit pricey, so I was waiting for it to be reduced, and it was reduced by 20% recently. I'm pretty sure it's still at that price. And then I also had like some loyalty points to use, and also some money from my subscription box. So I ended up paying like £140 for it. Obviously it was not reduced to that point, but as I said, I did have some loyalty points, so that's why it was so cheap for me. But I thought this is a good price to pick it up and show you what's inside. So I just took the sleeve off, and as you can see, this advent calendar is not too big, so I don't really have this kind of like a shelf next to me. And it opens like that. So yeah, it's actually really cute. It's very sturdy, definitely reusable, really pretty, not extremely Christmassy, because you can see you have this kind of beautiful Liberty London print. I'm very excited to see what's inside. There's also this leaflet with a QR code here. I scanned it, and it's going to show me all the information about the products inside, so that's actually quite cool. Before we start with the unboxing, let me remind you about the giveaway that's happening. There are literally like the last few days for you to enter the competition if you'd like to participate. I'm going to link it here if you're interested. And yeah, let's start. So we're obviously going to start with day number 1, which is over here, and I don't know if you can see that properly, but it's actually quite easy to find the numbers. So day number 1, so we're starting strong. We have 2 items inside. So the first item is, well, that is actually very exciting. So this is by Rido Bal d'Afrique, and this is actually a fragrance I've been wanting to try for like months or maybe years. There's so many fragrance YouTubers who seem to love this fragrance. They say that this is like super unique. It smells like nothing else really, so I'm actually really excited to have it here. It's 12 mils. And then the other fragrance in here is I don't know what, I mean that's the name of this fragrance, by DS and Durga, and this is Travel Fume 10 mils. So this is how it looks. So day number 2, according to our digital leaflet here, your future favorites. DS and Durga, I don't know what, with no real notes. I don't know what isn't a perfume as such, but rather a fragrance topper designed to enhance whatever scent you wear underneath. That actually sounds really interesting, doesn't it? So is it going to have a smell of some sort, or is it just going to be enhancing whatever fragrance we have? Let's have a look. It definitely smells of something, right? It definitely has some sort of scent to it. I can't really put my finger on it, but it definitely smells like this one of those like synthetic notes, or like a mixture of those. But I think I can imagine how this is going to work nicely with whatever fragrance you're wearing. I'm not sure if this is going to work with everything, but that actually sounds really exciting. I can't wait to try it out. I'm going to try and test and report back, obviously. And now the super exciting about Afrique. I just can't wait. Whenever I'm so excited about something, it turns out to be just okay. So hopefully this one is going to be as good as they say. It may not be the most talked about of all by Rido scents, but Bal d'Afrique is certainly one of the most delicious, melding African marigold with velvety violet petals. That sounds interesting. But also, I do feel like it's probably one of the most talked about of other fragrances. Like, I've heard so much about it that I don't know. Anyway, fingers crossed, let's see. Well, there's definitely violet. That's the first thing that you can just find in this fragrance. It's completely not what I expected. Most people describe it as being like super unique and kind of like almost like a head turner. Like people literally can ask you like what you're wearing because it's so amazing. And I don't know. I mean, it is pretty, but it's more of a classic Rido kind of scent that is quite close to your skin. It doesn't really seem very kind of like in your face. It is nice, but I don't know what to think about it yet. I don't hate it. I quite like it even. But I definitely need to test it on my skin and see how this is actually going to work for me. That is really interesting though, but I am super excited that I was able to try, or I will be able to like test this fragrance a little bit more. Okay, day number 2 over here. So here we have Viro Georgette. So that is the name of the fragrance. I am pretty sure I had something from this brand in one of the event calendars this year. And from what I remember, was it like Witchy Woo or something like that? From what I remember, it was very kind of like old school, kind of like vintage fragrance. So yeah, let's have a quick read about it. A Rose for Modernists. So this one is 7.5 mils, nothing like the old-fashioned rose scents of yesteryear. Viro's fragrance tops a bold rose note with nose-tickling pink pepper and smoky black tobacco. That is interesting, but I guess it might be just generally the style of this brand. Their fragrances might be quite vintage, so let's have a quick sniff of that as well. It's definitely quite old school, quite an old school fragrance. It is rosy, but it is quite, I would probably say it has this almost like a shipper quality to it. So it's not your kind of like very feminine, gentle, delicate rose that you have these days. It is interesting though. That's not the fragrance I would pick up for myself for sure, but I do love testing new fragrances and you never know. Okay, day number 3, which is over here. Ooh, okay, so we have 2 items as well. That is cool. So day number 3, an olfactory comfort blanket. That sounds interesting. So the first thing that we have is Laboratory Perfumes Discovery Set Amber and Gores. So these are 2 times 5 mils over here. And it says here, try 2 Laboratory Perfumes favorites on with this mini discovery set. Amber smells warm and inviting, while Gores is crisp and zesty. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that Amber is going to be my favorite. I'm going to be really surprised if it's not. Crisp and zesty. That's not usually my thing. So these are the 2 bottles. They actually look really cute. They look like something like medical. I don't know. But let's have a quick sniff. I'm going to start with the one that's potentially going to be my favorite, which is Amber. Yeah, that is definitely my type of fragrance. It is unisex though. It is quite unisex. And I mean, to be honest, the only fragrance that leans slightly more feminine, in my opinion, is this one, Balder Freak. The other fragrances are very much unisex, even the rosy one from door number 2. This one is very nice and warm, and as I said, completely unisex, which is perfect. Let's try the Gores one. Here I don't really have high hopes because, as I said, zesty, not really my thing, but let's see. Yeah, so this is exactly how they described it, crisp and zesty, and not my thing for sure. That kind of like zestiness to me leans more masculine, and I don't really mind wearing masculine fragrances. Like some of them are like perfectly unisex, but that zestiness gives me like too much masculinity. For me at least. I don't know. That's not something I'm probably going to wear, but I'm pretty sure Robert will like it. So yeah, there you go. And then we have, what is this? A Campora. Let me just unwrap it. So look at this cute bottle. So this is a Campora Musk Pure Essence, that's what it says here. Providing a heavy hit of musk, clove and amber, there's something rather warm and comforting about a Campora's essence. Okay, so I need to figure out how to open it, but other than that, quite exciting. So fun fact, I actually had to Google how to open it because all I achieved is I broke this kind of like a seal here, but apparently you just have to like cut these kind of strings here, and that should be the way you open it. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? And I think you just pull it, and then I think I have to test it on my skin, so hopefully it smells nice. Just dab a little bit. Oh, that is stunning. That's such a beautiful fragrance. I mean, I'm always a little bit afraid of like musky fragrances. They can smell a little bit like too clean, but almost in a way that gives me a little bit of a headache. But this is just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, comforting fragrance. It is stunning. It is a little bit complicated to open though, but I mean, once you know, right? I'm hoping this is not going to like open for some reason, but yeah, it's a really beautiful fragrance. I love it. Okay, let's move on. Day number 4. Ooh, okay, we have some Creed. This is Creed Aventus. There's a reason that Creed's Aventus has garnered such a cult following. It smells incredible. Okay. Inside the bottle, fresh fruity notes of pineapple and blackcurrant are tempered with grounding vanilla, musk, and oak moss. Ooh, that sounds actually really good. So we have 10 mils over here. Creed is quite an expensive brand, so 10 mils is quite a generous size, isn't it? Let's have a sniff. Oh, that is really nice. Is it a masculine fragrance? I'm not really sure because it definitely leans masculine, but I would describe this as still a little bit unisex, maybe because of those fruity notes. I'm definitely going to wear this. This is definitely something I can pull off for sure. I like it. Okay, day number 5 over here. And here we have some Killian. This is Killian Love Don't Be Shy. Okay, that is actually really good because this is another fragrance I have wanted to try for a while. The perfect entry point into the by Killian brand, Love Don't Be Shy pairs the Moorish scent of marshmallow with honeysuckle and amber to cut through the sugariness. Wow. And this is 7.5 mils. So yeah, let's have a look. So this is the bottle. I do love my gourmands, so that's definitely something I have high hopes for. It's such a beautiful fragrance. Like honestly, I might even consider buying a full size of this fragrance because that is wow, that is so me, and that is also so unique. I don't really have anything like that. This is sweet and gourmandish, but it also has like honeysuckle note in here that is quite noticeable. It is beautiful. So far, I love the variety of fragrances. I feel like even though the Harrods Advent Calendar was still like better value for money, it had quite a few fragrances that were quite similar. This time it seems like we have a little bit of everything, which is actually really cool. Day number 6 over here, and it's another double bubble. So number 6 is a scent mood booster apparently, and we have Mesomatin, which is this one over here. I actually know this brand. I have 2 full-size fragrances like in a little discovery set. It's not super expensive for like a niche brand. It's not super expensive, so that's good, I guess. What we have here is 15 mils, and look at this bottle. Look how cute it is. So the fragrance that we have is Ben the Midi, or however you should pronounce it. An inherently positive scent, this blend contains coconut, ylang ylang, and tiara flower. That actually sounds amazing, and I am like 80% sure that I had tried it before in my discovery set, but I can't really remember how it smells. So I'm obviously going to have one more sniff. That's so nice. It's like tropical fragrance, but tropical floral fragrance. It's going to be perfect for summer. Not necessarily for now, but it's going to be perfect for summer. Such a beautiful scent. And then the other fragrance here is Bobo by Carnet Barcelona. This is the bottle. Expect a surge of citrus at first spreads with this blend from Carnet Barcelona. It's bright and joyful, just a thing to lift you from that midwinter slump. Okay, that's interesting. Surge of citrus. We'll see. They said at the first spread, maybe something else will emerge after that, hopefully. Let's have a look. Okay, it's like a very summery fragrance. It is citrusy. And because of that, it's not going to be one of my favorite fragrances for sure. But I definitely prefer this one over the Gores one over here. This one was too zesty for me. This one is more like, seems like more floral. So I'm probably going to give it a go. I'm sure it's not going to be my favorite fragrance, but I'm impressed by the variety. I've said that before, and I'm still impressed. And we're like literally halfway through now, so yeah. Number 7 over here. Ooh, okay, 2 items again, but one of them is a little bit different because it's a candle. So this is Hera candle, rose, woodland moss, and golden amber. And then we have a fragrance from Sana Jardin, and this is Venus of Verbena. So I don't think I have tried this fragrance before. I do love her sandalwood temple, it's just amazing. But this one, I don't remember trying it, so that's actually exciting as well. Okay, so door number 7, Instant Atmosphere. The fragrance, a surge of energy in fragrance form. This roll-on's scent laces the skin in notes of lemon oil, verbena, and orange flower. Okay, so this is a roll-on, so that's interesting. Let me just open it. Oh, and it is a roll-on. I'm just going to test it out on my skin. It is pretty. There is lemon, but it's not, I mean, it's lemony, but it's not like extremely zesty. It is actually really pretty. Yeah, I like it. I think it's going to be really nice for summer. And then the candle, we have 60 grams over here. Your chance to try our award-winning candle, light the week to fill your room with a cozy blend of velvety rose, woodland moss, and golden amber. I am pretty sure I have tested this fragrance, this candle before. I'm pretty sure it was in one of the calendars before. Oh, it's gorgeous. It smells like a luxury perfume. It is gorgeous. So I'm actually super happy to have a candle. I love candles. I think it's a great idea to put a candle in a fragrance advent calendar. It makes perfect sense, right? All right, moving on to door number 8 over here. And here we have Granado Epoque Tropicale. So this is the fragrance. We have 25 ml, so quite a generous size. While the bulk of Granado's scent comes from light, wafty floral notes, the use of tonka bean, cardamom, and cashew fruit provides welcome depth and weight. That actually sounds very exciting. I need to find a piece of paper to spray it on. That is actually really interesting. I'll probably describe this fragrance as being a little bit more kind of like old school. It is slightly spicy. I think the cardamom is actually to blame here. It is really pretty though. Definitely something a little bit more classic. I like it. Not something I would usually go for, but that's the beauty of it. You get to try so many different fragrances, and maybe sometimes the fragrances that you wouldn't usually buy. But who knows, that way I'm actually discovering my next favorite. Okay, day number 9 over here. And here we have Tamine Carved Oud, and I have 2 of those kind of mini fragrances from this brand, and they are brilliant. So apparently this is a fresh take on oud. 10 mils, decidedly rich and heady. Tamine's take on oud feels extra decadent, and as it comes teamed with notes of cardamom, pink pepper, and musk. Interesting. Oh, it's really nice. It's nice, but it definitely leans slightly masculine, and this is not your introductory oud. This is more like oud that you would appreciate when you kind of like oud already, if that makes sense. I like it though. I like it though, and I also feel like we don't have anything that similar to it in those fragrances I'm looking at. So day number 10 over here, the last of those like kind of bigger drawers. That is a nice size, isn't it? So this is Wilhelm Perfumery 125th and Bloom. 20 ml, so another good size. Once the ever so slightly spicy notes of saffron, oh I love saffron, and angelica seeds die down, the fragrance leaves you with the lingering scent of leather and dark woods. Oh, that's going to be interesting. It is stunning. You have to like leathery fragrances though, because that leather note is definitely something that you will notice. It's not something that's just like hides behind other notes. You can definitely tell it's there. It is beautiful. It's definitely more of a unisex fragrance. Again, I feel that this advent calendar is perfect for like anyone, which is great, right? With niche fragrances, they tend to be more unisex. So I'm glad they actually picked products that can be like worn by anyone. Day number 11 over here. Okay, so that is actually exciting as well. So we have Eccentric Molecules from the M Plus line, and this is the one that I don't really have to give away to Robert because I actually really like the M Plus range. This is Molecule 1 and Patchouli. So this is like the mixture of the like original fragrances with some additions. So they have iris, they have patchouli, they have mandarin, I think. I really like them all. So that's definitely something I am keeping for myself for sure. So there you go. The ultimate skin scent, apparently. 30 mils, so that's like a really nice size. An update on the cult classic scent. This version comes topped off with a warm and woody patchouli note that feels sophisticated and clean, like the smell of bare skin, only a little better. So here's the thing I have with Eccentric Molecule fragrances. They tend to smell very masculine on my skin, so whenever I get these I just pass them on to Robert. But this new M Plus range smells amazing on me too, so I'm happy that I can have a few of these for myself. So this is how it looks, and I'm just going to refresh my memory as to how it smells. That is just gorgeous. That's so beautiful. Okay, so we're on day number 12, the last day in this advent calendar, and what do we have here? So we have something from Diptyque, and okay, so this is their solid perfume. This one is in scent Philosopos, so if I remember correctly, this is a fig scent, which I actually really like, but this is something that works for me perfectly in spring and summertime. This is definitely not the type of fragrance I would wear in winter. It's like too green. So this is the box. So we have this little pouch here, which is actually really cute. And here's our solid perfume. Look how cute it looks. Also, it feels very luxurious. It's quite like, it's nothing like really cheap about it. It's quite heavy. So that is actually really cool. This is the solid perfume. Yeah, it's like a perfect springtime, summertime fragrance. And this is also refillable, so we have this kind of like a pin here, and we can just push it out when we want to refill this fragrance. This is a handbag friendly fragrance for sure, because you know, it won't break. You can just travel with it and everything, and you can just keep it in your pouch here, which is actually really cute as well. Okay guys, so this is the fragrance Liberty London Advent Calendar fully unboxed. What do you guys think? I'm actually quite impressed. I'm not sure whether I would spend the whole £270, which was, I think it was the original price for it, but with that 20% discount, it kind of makes sense, you know. I'm quite impressed with the content. There are like so many doors that had like 2 items in them. The selection of fragrances is great, the variety amazing. We have like all sorts of fragrances. There are no like repeats, there are no fragrances that are a bit samey. In Harrods Advent Calendar, the fragrance of Harrods Advent Calendar, which I personally really loved, there were like 5 fragrances that were in a very kind of similar vibe. Here, all the fragrances are completely different, which is amazing. We have a nice candle, we have the solid fragrance. So I think this is a brilliant advent calendar. If you can get any additional discounts on top of that, that's even better, but I definitely see the value in it. There are a couple of fragrances here that I've been wanting to try for a while. There are a couple of fragrances that I might have to purchase in the full size, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I am super excited to play with my new fragrances now, and I would love to know your thoughts, guys. What do you think about this calendar? Do you think it's worth the money? Do you think it's maybe a little bit too overpriced? Have you purchased it? If you have, let me know what you think about the selection of the fragrances here. Thank you very much for watching. For more advent calendar unboxings, check those videos over here. I'm going to see you very soon. Take care. Bye.